morning, kids. For this lesson number 8, we were dealing with the extra questions, and there is this last question we are left with. That is question number 10. Extra question 10. We are going to write that, and after that, we are going to start discussing the question answers, exercise question answer of the chapter. What makes lightning so dangerous? What makes lightning so dangerous? Generally, we have heard that here this lightning fell down there, it fell down and it had killed so many people. So why is it that dangerous? It's just the flow of charges, and how come it is so dangerous? Let's try to understand that. A bolt of lightning travels at a bolt of lightning travels at a speed of more than 4 lakh kilometers per hour or 400,000 kilometers per hour. That's too much of a speed, I'm telling you. It can heat the air around it. It can heat the air around it to a temperature which is more than which is more than 4 times the temperature of the surface of the sun. That is what makes lightning so dangerous. That is what makes lightning just imagine the amount of heat it can generate, and that amount of heat, if it is falling down on a person or on a tree, nothing remains there. I'm telling you, slowly like black spot remains there, everything vaporizes. You will not even find the ashes at times. It is that dangerous, very, very dangerous. And simple question, before we start discussing the question answers of the chapter, a simple question. We have only heard so many times about this lightning. Why this lightning has got no effect on our colony area? We must have heard that lightning, it had struck the village somewhere near Rawalpindi and somewhere around it. Then how come it has not hit even a single time in the colony? Why? There is a reason. Even in colony, outside the colony also, NPCIL is taking care of all the area around it also. Under that CSR it does. So therefore there are no problems surrounding also. But what is the reason behind it? So I think only Anjali has risen her hand. Yeah, Anjali, tell me.
मैम असल में लाइटनिंग हुई है कॉलोनी में। मैम एक बार बिल्डिंग पे गिरी थी और उसका कॉर्नर इसका सबसे टॉप का कॉर्नर टूट गया था और जो घर था अंदर का उसमें पूरा क्रैक आ गया था।
My question to you is that in the whole history of Rawalpindi, it has happened only once, and that to a small crack. But in you hear about the nearby villages, it has happened many times. Why our colony is protected?
मैम
Yeah, Chirag.
मैम न्यूयॉर्क में एक ऐसी बिल्डिंग है जो जिसमें एक साल में
English.
मैम इन न्यूयॉर्क देयर इज अ बिल्डिंग which lightning strikes 200 times per year.
I am asking you why the colony is safe. I'm not getting answer to that. Kumud.
Ma'am, because the wiring of our colony is such that if current strikes, then the wires took the current into the earth.
I will be relating it to the extra question or some aspect we have discussed in the middle of the chapter. I have asked you that if you are in thunderstorm outside, don't stand under a big tree. Don't take an umbrella that has that metallic notch on it. Reason, they act like antennas. Remember, in all our colony and around the colony, we have big height poles, electric poles. These street light poles, they do dual function, two functions at a time. One, of course, keeping the streets lighted at night, but it also, if there are any charges in the air, they entrap it, they capture it, they hold it and then bring it down to the earth. Earthing, no doubt they do, but it's not the wire. It is these poles, these standing erect tall poles we are protecting our colony. But that incident that you had quoted, once in a while it happens, that the charges are so much tremendously in the environment that even if the protection is done, some part of it, some scratch of it falls down. So if there are like hundreds and thousands of charges falling down, out of them, some of them they had leaked down to that particular building, and that to the harm done was negligible, very, very less. We have not seen, please click on the net after this class, the harms done by lightning that falls on the surface of the ground. It literally burns every damn thing in its way. Nothing remains there alive, wherever it falls. So that is a deadly, dangerous entity. So therefore, for lightning, these particular poles we have, they are actually protecting us. And one more example this Chirag gave, that there is this building. Why on those buildings and why that building is not harmed? The reason is that building is tall enough. The more the taller the building, the more it is prone to lightning. So there they keep this lightning conductor also. On the top of the roof, there is this rod. And with the rod, the charges are flown to the ground, creating no harm to the building. And the taller are the building, the more number of lightning conductors are there. That means when the lightning strikes the building, the people don't know those who are residing in the building, and they are sent to the ground. People are safe inside that building. This is how it happens. Now, please make sure that you have written the answer that I have given you on the board. And now we'll continue understanding the exercise questions from page number 92. Try to wind up fast. Page number 92. In fill in the blanks, question number 1. There are 4 parts: A, B, C, and D. Wind is dash air. Anybody? You can raise the hand and let me ask you. And I can see, of course, Azram.
Moving.
The answer is
Moving.
moving. Yeah, of course, it's moving air. It's moving air. Next part. Winds are generated due to dash heating. Naveen.
Uneven.
Uneven. Then near the Earth's surface, dash air rises up, whereas dash dash air comes down.
Warm. Warm.
Prithvi,
Ma'am, warm air rises up and cool air comes down.
yeah, Vivek's answer is also right. So two words we are supposed to fill up: warm and cool. Don't interchange them. Then air moves from a region of dash pressure to a region of dash pressure. Dipanshu.
High.
Yeah, and the
High
next one.
pressure to a region of low.
Bhavika and Vivek both are right, and their answer, of course, Dipanshu is also right. Two words are there: high and low. These are the two words we are supposed to mention. Then, next question. Suggest two methods to find out wind direction in a given place. Beta, there are some simple methods. You can take a kite. You can take small bits of paper and throw them. And that is going to give you the direction of the wind. You can make, we are going to make another one, for example, anemometer. That is going to give you the wind speed. You can make a weathercock. That gives you the direction of the wind. So these small things we can make, and that is going to help us. Next question. State two experiences that made you think that air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure other than those which are mentioned in the book. For example, once we have sipped this cold drink or this nariyal pani with a straw, coconut water with the straw. Once you start sucking in, what happens that you feel that a low pressure area is generated inside the straw. Okay, and the cold drink and the coconut water that rises up. Of course, for pressure you have seen in the examples, you must have seen on the banners also. Some banners are torn. Okay, banners, they are torn actually because of the air pressure. And for pressure, of course, the bicycle tire, you write. In that also we fill up the air. As long as the pressure is adequate, you can ride your bicycle, you can ride a two-wheeler, you can drive a car. Otherwise, if the pressure is low in the tire, then definitely there is problem in riding as well as driving. Next question now.
Ma'am, balloon also.
Buy a house. You want to buy a house. Would you like to buy a house having windows but no ventilators? The answer will be no. We could expect our house to have both windows as well as ventilators. Windows, they are going to go for the cross ventilation of the air on the lower side. We know very well that the warm air rises up. If there are 2 to 3 people in a particular room, definitely they are going to exhale carbon dioxide. More amount of warm air will be there in the room, and that warm air which has risen high is going to go out if you have these ventilators near to the roof. Ventilators are the small opening, small window-like structure just next to the roof. Generally in our houses and buildings we do not have nowadays. But of course, if we don't have, if the building is completely packed, then in that case we have these ACs. They basically take out all the air, irrespective of the air that is present near to the roof or near to the bottom, that is the floor. But if we are buying a house, of course, as per the question, we must be going ahead buying a house which has both the windows as well as the ventilators. And the answer, my answer would definitely include that there is this warm air which rises up near to the roof, and therefore the ventilators are going to help it to move out. Okay? Next question now. Next question is, how will you help your neighbors in case of cyclone approaches your village or town? See, I gave you what can be done in cyclone. I gave you certain points. Okay? In the notes we have written one question. Okay, and in that question it is clearly mentioned what can be done to protect. As far as neighbors are concerned, we can help them. Of course, if they need the shelter in our home, if they need the fresh water, food or maybe shifted from one place to the next. But all in all, the precautions, they will be included, the precautions mentioned in that particular answer, extra answer I gave you. Just try to read those points. Then what planning is required in advance to deal with the situation created by a cyclone? So in advance, of course, we are supposed to make sure that the government goes for three things. Number one, as we have already covered, shelters. Shelters wherein people can be shifted. Number one. Second, proper communication. Proper communication and help services, whichever, wherever are applicable, they must have enough transportation to shift the people to the safer places. This is the advanced planning required. Okay? And on the part of people, if this is the part of the government or the part of the people, what is planning required? Those people who are living in those prone areas, cyclone prone areas. In those areas, the people will store fresh water, food, and of course a safe underground basement wherein they can keep themselves safe at the time of cyclone. Okay, and a proper communication they too are supposed to give. That is keeping the radio on. You won't believe that the people who are living near in US, there are areas which are highly prone to cyclones. In those areas, people keep their radio on 24 hours a day. During the daytime, louder; during the night time, a little milder in voice. But they have to keep it on if they want to keep themselves alive. Okay. Now we are coming down to question number 8, and there you can go ahead and answer me. There are 4 options. Which one of the following places is unlikely to be affected by cyclone? Definitely the places which are near to the coastal area, they will be affected by the cyclone. Others won't be. The answer I have already started getting. Bhavika, Vivek, and of course I think the other kids also will opt for the same answer. That is answer number. This is our question number 8, and the answer will be of course 3rd, Amritsar. Amritsar is the answer to that. Question number 9 now. Question number 9. Which of the statements given below is correct? There are 4 statements. In winter, the winds flow from land to the ocean. Second, in summer, the winds flow from land towards the ocean. Third, a cyclone is formed by a very high pressure system. That's absolutely wrong. That is formed because of the low pressure system. Of course, the answer to this will be the first part. The first part of the answer. Question number 9 goes for the first part, that is in winter, the winds flow from the land to the ocean. Now, how am I going to keep it in mind? How I am going to remember this for the exam? Always remember for the sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze happens during the daytime. Daytime you can compare with that of summers. You know very well that the sea breeze will be flowing from sea to the land. Sea to the land. That means in summers also it will happen the same way. Night time you can relate with winters. That's the best way of remembering it, I'm telling you, without any confusion. Night time land breeze, that is from land to sea. So in winters it will happen so that the winds will flow from land to sea. And moreover, we have covered this in the heading of uneven heating of the earth, if you can recall. There were 2 uneven heatings. One we have covered in case of uneven heating near equator and poles. And the second one was uneven heating between land and sea, that is water. Uneven heating of the earth, the various portions of the earth we have covered. That was the last question of the exercise. Now the extended learning questions, you are supposed to make some projects. Certain things are there, please remember. On page number 93 and 94, extended learning questions are given. Kids, be very careful that question number 1, 2, 3 and 6. These are project based. I am going to read them one by one. I am going to tell you what you are supposed to do. But basically for 1, 2, 3 and 6, you need not write. You are supposed to do them. Writing purpose, we have only 2 questions in extended learning. That is question number 4 and 5. Now I'm starting with first question of the extended learning. Please try and understand. Everybody has to do it. And I'll be asking you in the classes to observe that. The first one, you can perform activity 8.5. What was that activity 8.5? Wherein we have taken up a glass bottle with the balloon on its cap. Right? Now instead of that, you can take a bottle, a plastic bottle. And what they are asking you is, you can take 2 plastic bottles and on both of them you can keep this balloon attached. You keep one plastic bottle in hot summer outside. That means outside when the temperature is high, you can keep it there. And you will observe that the balloon swells up in afternoon. Reason, the air present in the bottle that we have kept outside has expanded. It has risen up high and that is going to swell the balloon. This activity you are supposed to do at home. That is the first question. Second question, to make an anemometer. Anemometer, steps are given and it will be coming out like this. 4 cups, 4 straps of cardboard, fixing it on the pencil, and there it goes along with the speed of the wind. Yes, it is going to move with the wind, but it cannot tell you what is the speed of the wind. It can only tell you that right now the speed is less and the speed is more. That much can be made very clear by using and making this particular project, and it is going to be named as anemometer. Question number 3 on the next page. Question number 3 says, collect articles and photographs. This you are supposed to collect and paste it in your notebook. I'll be asking the PDF of it. Question number 3 says you are supposed to collect articles and photographs from newspapers and magazines about storms and cyclones. You may go for certain magazines, you can go for certain articles, and you may even take it from that. The pictures of cyclones and storms are to be downloaded. They are supposed to be pasted in the notebook with this question number 3. Got it? Question number 4. For question number 4, in front of question number 4, you write down this thing that is going to help you in answering. That is given in your book and that is going to help you in answering. That's there in 8.7. Heading number 8.7, effective measures. 8.7. This is for extended learning questions, and this is question number 4. It is question number 4, and in question number 4 you will be taking up help from the textbook, heading number 8.7, effective safety measures. Effective safety measures, and that is given on page number 89 and 90. You can take the help from there. The question says, you can even put up the 3 points only. It says, suppose you are a member of the committee and you are supposed to prepare a speech which says about the measures to be taken to reduce the suffering of the people. So these are the measures again. They are mentioned in the 3 points on that. You have to prepare a speech based on that. Question number 5. Question number 5, and for that also I am telling you which part of the textbook it is given. It says, interview eyewitness to collect the actual experience. So eyewitness, some experiences, they are given. Eyewitness experiences are given on page number 89, and there you have this blue box, and in the blue box there are it felt like as though we are rising up high, and there were these cases of rabbits and chicken. Those examples are shared in the class, that their fur and their wings were ripped off. So those experiences you can note from the blue box as well as you can take up from internet. Question number 6 now. Question number 6 says that you are supposed to take an aluminium empty rod, and you are supposed to, for example, if this is aluminium empty rod and you are supposed to put, it is hollow from inside, it's a hollow cylinder, and you have to put it in potato. Try to press it hard and try to fix it. So one end is fixed, and from the other end also you fix and try. That will act like a piston. From behind you have one more piece of potato, and you can have a pencil to push it. That means front part, once you have inserted in the potato, that has got fixed. Okay, now this part is empty. What are you doing with this hollow part? You are one more potato you are inserting from here, and you are putting a pencil to push it. The more you push it, what happens? The air column in the middle is going to push that potato, and it will be popping out from the other surface. We are supposed to be careful that nobody is standing in front of it. Let me explain you with the help of the diagram. This is what you are supposed to do. A cylindrical hollow tube of aluminium, and what you have done is that once you had put that in the potato, this part has the potato, and on the other side also you are fixing one more potato on this side, and with the help of a pencil you are pushing it. Here in the middle, air is present. This one acts like a piston, and it keeps on pressing it hard. You have to apply pressure because air won't be moving so easily. So once you keep on pressing this, say for example, even if it reaches to this distance, this potato will be thrown out with force, popping out with force. So remember, in this, once again I will repeat that you are supposed to write only in 4 and 5, and in question number 3 you are supposed to paste certain pictures. Rest questions, that means first, second and 6th are activity based. You are supposed to do them at home. Clear it is to all of us? That's all from my side today, kids. You are supposed to do this activity and the question answers in your fair notebook, and the assignment of it I am going to upload today. Submit a clear PDF. Please make sure that a single PDF and it is clearly visible. Make sure of that. Thank you, kids. Happy learning.